If I told you that I'm a jazz musician, it's clear to you. If I tell you I'm a rock and roll guitar player, it's clear. So what is a hip hop guitarist, right? It is an eclectic guitarist, a guitarist that understands the fusion of music. So what we are going to be working on is a guitar which is a learning tool. Hip hop music is repetition. It's like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. So I looked at my daughter when I was testing this theory, and I was like, come over here. Let me teach you how to play Wu-Tang Clan on guitar, 36 chamber. She like, Daddy, I don't do that. That's for the old school people, right? Then I realized I'm getting old, right? And then she goes on the piano, and she sits there, and she's like, bang, 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 bang. And I'm like, what are you playing? She's like, Dad, you don't know what that is? That's Drake, man. You know that. So in other words, you can't tell the child what to play. They have to play what they want to play. So it turns into a learning tool when we use music to teach them math. So that is some of what we're working on. So it'll be the first hip hop guitar. So if Dr. Dre is listening, you can do your headphones, but you're gonna need my guitar. I have a question. Oh yeah, I do. Let me tell you the coolest thing about Whitney Houston. In the studio, anybody heard, my love is your love and your love. So when I was in the studio with Whitney Houston, despite what they say about Whitney Houston, they don't tell y'all the most important thing about Whitney Houston. I was in there with Whitney, Bobby Brown, and Whitney Houston's daughter. When y'all go back and you're gonna listen to a song called My Love Is Your Love, on the song, you are going to hear Whitney Houston's daughter say, sing, mommy. She's barely 3 years old. How did this happen? While she was in the studio with her mom, her mother was in the booth. She looked at her mother's eyes and she said, sing, mommy. I found that so amazing that I took the microphone and I said, can you say this again? And she said, sing, mommy. And her mother came out of the booth. And the love that I saw for a daughter, for a mother, and a mother for a daughter, sometimes these are the positive stories that we need to talk about. Okay, now listen. Now by now, hold on.
I don't think I'm the essential one.
No, listen. It's my turn, man, it's my turn. Yo, by now, y'all have figured it out. Wyclef Jean is a full-blown thug nerd. Y'all clear enough. I don't need to tell you that. All right. This book came to my studio, and me and my engineer is from Italy. Where he at? Okay, that's my engineer right there, from Italy. By way of Sicily, you know? Him and Robert De Niro, they both love black women. So we sat there and we read this. Now the thing is, I was like, what's incredible about this is growing up and understanding how I got to where I got to. It made me understand and inspired me to know that the ideas that I'm going through, that I'm not crazy, that there's people in the world that's just like me. So I have a real question for you. On my way down here, I'm with the driver, real talk, and we driving. He from Egypt, and he go, what you read, man? And I turned this around, I said, man, this is amazing. And he go, hold up. He said, this shit looks scary, man. So Clef, what's gonna go on, man? You mean I'm not gonna be a driver in the future? Is that what's gonna happen? Is the robots gonna take over the entire world? So what goes on is, there's a lot of people who don't understand AI, right? So there's a certain fear factor about it, and there's a constant debate about jobs with the physicality of the human and the idea of AI taking over in the future. And this conversation, we constantly have it within our surroundings. So if you could, what I loved about this book is the unification that it showed with the human understanding the role of the machine. So if you could talk a little bit about that to us, we'd appreciate it.
Okay.
Kids, listen.
I'll give you the short answer, which is just like your hip-hop guitar is going to open up music and creativity of more people to compose and play music and to listen to music, artificial intelligence will be a tool that will open up technology and opportunity to more and more people. And that's what human plus machine means, is it's combining the best of the human capability with other capability from technology to allow people to do more. So your cab driver may not be driving a cab in exactly the same way in the future, because there may be autonomous vehicles and self-driving cars and what have you. But there will be other opportunities and more opportunity opened up for people. We believe there'll be more jobs, likely not less in the future. The challenge is how do we reskill the cab driver, reskill everybody else that needs access to opportunity with the right digital skills so that they can succeed in the future. So that's the short answer. It's not as interesting as a hip-hop guitar.
No, that's
cool.
Y'all got that? All right.
But I think you owe the Beyonce, even though I answered the question.
Well, I mean, y'all have to understand, I knew Beyonce at a very young age. Like, this is before Beyonce is Beyonce, right? So, for me, the most incredible thing that I could tell you about Beyonce, being in the studio with Beyonce, watching her father and different things, everybody that have kids, the most important thing that I'm going to tell you is to encourage your kids to do what they love and support what they love, and do not push them in the direction that you want to. Because I've watched Beyonce in the studio, we all together, she's barely 15 years old. So to watch the Beyonce then, and to watch her now, without the support of the natural parents pushing her and letting her go in the direction that she naturally wants to go in, this would not happen. So all of the parents that's out there, make sure that you support your kids 100% of what they want to naturally do. Please, very important.
Very important.
Okay. I think